Good morning, traders, and welcome to the live webinar, real-time analysis. So we do this every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. Traders, and welcome to the live webinar, real-time analysis. Tomorrow we will have J Trader, stocks trader at this time, and then futures trader with Scott Pulcini on Thursday. There is a lot of other stuff that's going on in Bookmap, and let me just show you that quickly here. We have a new section here called the Learning Center. If you click on the More button up here and go to the Learning Center, you can also get it through, just click on Education here. It'll take you down the page to this area here, and then you can click on Learning Center here, and that'll take you to the same page here. All right, so what we have in here is the well, all sorts of tools in here. We also have these links up here: knowledge base, symbols table, glossary, community page in here, support as well. You can search for videos in here. We have get connected videos, okay, connecting Bookmap to data, and this is a new course here, okay, the getting started course. Let's just click on this, and you can see that we start with introduction, and then adding different symbols into Bookmap, how to navigate around the chart, how to display elements, volume dots, liquidity heat map, columns. I'll add some more in there, the subchart, and then also trading functionality here. All right, so lots of good stuff in here. Please give us feedback on it. How do you like it? Our market mechanics course is here. Order flow phenomena videos, add-on videos, and then our insights page. One more thing to go through here is the Bookmap blue jacket, that competition that we have each month, or at least this month. And let me just show you the details on this. All right. It's here under bookmap.com/blue jacket, and you can create content, and you create good content, good enough content, you can win 3 months of Global Plus with stocks and futures data here. All right, so then the details are here, how to participate, etc. And you can sign up very, very simply right here. Okay, we're not asking for much. And just sign up and join the competition. All right, so and enjoy. All right, let's go through disclosures, and then we'll look right at the market. Jump right in. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay, so let's jump back into the market now. Interesting stuff here. Interesting day yesterday. I want to recap some of that, and having a heavy sell-off right now. So let's actually take a look at this, and where is this going? Boy, I don't have a lot of data in here. A lot of icebergs just coming in now. Obviously some stop runs on the way down here. Let's see. Well, there's some liquidity in here at around 75. We were actually looking at that yesterday, and then that 75 level, 70 down a little bit further. Boy, the figure, 4150 down here, there's nothing there right now showing. Guys, if you want to, you don't always have to zoom vertically in here. I just want to show this. You can left click, hold, and drag here on the chart, on the price ladder, and that'll zoom you vertically here. You can also just grab it and go back like this and take a look at some of these areas down here. There might be some weird situation when you're in a trade and your orders are way down here and you're trying to manage them. Just a note here, a quick one. Hold down the control key over the price ladder and you'll still be in the live market mode, and you can scroll down here and look at these areas and manage your trades this way. Okay, you will have to come back in here, right click on this, and you can see that it put me into recenter none. So we want to go to recenter best bid and offer or auto trades. Okay, and go back here. Let's see, PH3 has a question here. Seems that much of the liquidity of 41.95, 4200 is pressing. Am I reading that right? Yeah, let's take a quick look. Zoom out, zoom vertically. Yeah, I saw the move up to it earlier. Let's just zoom back in here and take a look. It went up to this 98 area, and that was it. You know, this was actually, this was a friend of mine was in this trade. Down in this area here, this is what one of the things he kind of looks for. But we see the move back up into, I mean, this is a beautiful little setup, to be honest. Maybe we can go through those details if you like. But you see the move back up into 98. Yeah, this is where the high liquidity is. No question about it. They're still here as well. 477 contracts at the figure. And then at 199, 313. At 98, 251. 95 has a lot as well, right? So yeah, you can see that they're still up here. Yeah, you are reading that correctly. All right, so are they pressing though? Well, they're pretty far away. This is pressing here at 95. That's a nice one. And you can see the reaction. This is the context that we really want to understand and read though. Okay, look at this. So market's trending down. Here's the swing. It pops up above the swing. Now this is the cash open here at 930 here East Coast. We see the move back up, breaches that for a very brief moment on some pretty strong volume. And then it cascades lower. Still looks pretty good in here. There's a lot of buying in here still. There's reasons for that due to the breach of yesterday's range. But this is where the sellers come in and pound it. Okay, I mean, it's obvious in hindsight. Everything's obvious in hindsight. But we'll read the hard right edge in just a minute. But what we see is, you know, even a potential, you know, maybe a bounce or rejection out of this area. Here's where we see, though, the buyers that come in here are not able to lift it higher. This is market structure. Okay, we should do probably a series on market structure, just how important it is, and then look at you know, that on all time frames. But even more buying in here. They can't even make a higher high from this little tiny swing here. Right, once we start to see the sellers come in, look for them to start to take this market lower. All right, so market structure plus the context in here gave some good insight to that up in this area. All right, here again, market structure. All right, so let's take a look here. See how we're breaking this now. Okay, so let's see if we can get to 82. Now, the volume's pretty good here. So, you know, I'm looking for these buyers to take it up to 82, maybe 83 up here. All right. So again, and this is a really simple, straightforward read right off the bat. Now, what I'm worried about though is this failing. Okay, this is a breakout. Okay, I'm still looking for more buyers. If we get them, then 82, 83. Okay, so and maybe hit some stops along the way. We haven't. Everyone's still in here. Everyone's getting stopped out to the downside. They haven't gotten stopped out to the upside yet. Okay, so I'm really kind of getting ahead of myself here, but I just wanted to cover this little move in here. Okay, look at this. This is the pressing part here. PH3. See how they're bidding up in here? What we want to understand is that context. Once they start to bid up in here, what's the reaction? Okay, well, they bid up and we see some buyers here. Okay, and then sellers seem to like it, so they go after it here. Now, what do these guys do in here on the bid? They pulled their liquidity. Okay, so they don't want to be buyers. So let's see if we can get down to 79. And then let's just try to be objective here. Where is 79? Okay, 79 is not bad. Maybe even 77. But 79 has a swing there. Okay, they didn't get to it. Yeah, still just kind of going back and forth in here. All right, so now this is that potential false breakout here. All right, let's see if we get more sellers back down to here. maybe they can get back down to 77.5 here. All right, so there's our context, right? We read this as a potential breakout, and did we get buyers up in here? No. Did we see the sellers come in and take it back into the range? Yep. Do we look for this kind of lower area at 77.5 and also right here at 79? Yep. And I would, if I was in this trade, you know, my trading plan, my personal trading plan would be to take some profits here. All right, I hope that helped. I just went through that really quickly, we'll come back and revisit all of this kind of smaller structural stuff here in just a minute. Right now, what I want to good morning, slow down. What I want to go over first is the bigger picture. You know, I really like what Charles went over yesterday in his webinar. He's on once a week now at 9 a.m. Here, let me show you again in our learning center. It's not just these essentials in here. You scroll down, our live streaming events are all here on the calendar. Okay, so this is another important element here in the learning center. Okay, this is, you know, the courses and the content here, but then we have the live market here. Okay, so and you can see that. Okay, here all markets Bruce, right after me Tom B, right after that at 1 o'clock crypto trader. I don't miss this, guys. You come to this. John Slazas is trading crypto. He is not your typical crypto trader. He has a lot of experience. He's been trading futures for decades, and he just totally swallowed the crypto bug and said this is the future. And it wasn't Bitcoin that he was interested in; it was Ethereum. All right. So anyway, I would highly recommend it. Talk about market structure. He's a complete expert in understanding market structure. It is solid stuff. So go check it out. Then what you want to look at around the market structural areas is you want to understand the order flow. Okay, and we'll get into that in just a minute in here. But let's first take a look at our bigger picture structure. Okay, I really like what Charles did yesterday. And the top-down approach. I mean, we do that too, but we usually jump in immediately because we always see something around this time of day that's working. All right, so it might be short-term, like this move down to 77.5 and then get out, right? But same ideas in here that we'll talk about here on in the bigger picture. So let's see, Monday, yesterday, we see this this candle here, and let's see, this better be right. 79, 78. Hold on, sometimes I don't trust these charts. Yeah, it looks right. Okay, and let me zoom in here a little bit. All right, so well, first off, before I zoom in, it's these wicks up in here that we're interested in on this time frame, which is the daily chart. Okay, hourly in the middle, 15 on the right. All right, so we're just getting a bigger picture understanding. I would look for selling pressure to come in here up in these areas, profit taking by the buyers. All right, so that would be my assumption. This is where all of the selling initiated and moved to the downside. Pretty strong move right back up, and now it's testing these areas, and we do see some wicks up here. Okay, so now let's zoom in a little bit here and then look at yesterday. So yesterday it was all over the place. It's an inside day from the previous session, as you can see. And that's when Charles said it is going to chop a lot. And boy, did it ever. But I want to cover what we were looking at yesterday as well and what followed through in the end. Because yesterday we left off looking for a potential move up, and right after the webinar ended, that move up totally failed. It was like a long trap, and and then boy did it move lower, and then at end of the day though it ended up up higher, as you can see here. So and then overnight session and today you can see that we broke the high, but we're back in the range now. All right, so the break failed to break out and continue so far, right? That's what we know so far. We did get this kind of outside day yesterday, but in the overnight, I mean, it's in this session here, the new session, which is my time, East Coast time. It starts at 6 p.m. Markets open up, and that's when the beginning of the new session. The move up, right? And then what happened just right now? Well, here we can see on the hourly chart here in the middle. Okay, and this is what I really wanted to cover, because yesterday we were God, where were we yesterday? Somewhere around in here, was it? Yeah. Okay, so we saw these moves in here, and it was like, well, we're bullish, and until we see something different. And then we kind of came up, retested some of these wicks. It was this area here on the 15-minute. Okay, this is what made me bullish in here, was that if we come back up and retest and you see lots of buyers, typically you get the move higher. It made a slightly lower, and we can look back one day here now. It made a slightly, that's not going to work, is it? Yeah, I need to look at the week. Okay, so anyway, we made a slightly lower high here, and then the sellers came in and pounded this lower here. Okay, down into these these previous this previous wick here. I'm kind of surprised it didn't come all the way down here. It didn't. It's trending up. You can draw your trend line in here. It bounced once, came back down, slightly breached it here. Here's your false breakdown, and then the buyers came in hand over fist, and then they finally broke the swing here. We were looking for a move up into this kind of 70 level, and then 75, and you can see what happened here. All right, so we finally broke that end of the day. So tricky day yesterday, and lots of false breakdowns and breakouts. And then people just getting squeezed and hurt. What about today now? All right, well, our outside edge here failed so far. We've come back. We filled the gap already, so we're already seeing some profit taking here on the gap fill at this kind of 77 level. Yep, at 77, and seeing a little bit of buying coming in. All right, so that's what we see so far. Now let's take a look here if we can get continued momentum on this 15-minute, and I would look for a move lower into these areas in here. This little back and forth in here, so 72 down to maybe even 68 or so would be the first stop. All right, if we're going to get continued move lower. All right, so now we know there's a little bit of profit taking here so far. So now let's jump into Bookmap. We know this level down here, these two levels, 72 to 68 is what we're looking at. And then on the high side, yeah, somewhere like back, well, the first move I would look for is a move back to around this 87.5 area here, this little swing, and then just a little bit higher here, back to 94 or so. And then highs of the day 98. Okay, so for the session, anyway, that's what I'm looking at, bigger picture here. And now let's jump into Bookmap, and then let me pause for a minute and answer any questions. Okay, hold on. Okay, that looks like no questions in Discord nor YouTube at the moment. Okay, so we're good. All right. So let's draw up those levels that we just looked at here. In fact, okay, so we're looking at well, there's a few different levels in here. So 77 or 73 and 68 and 88. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of eyeball them here to do it quickly. Okay, 88. And let's line this up though with some areas in here. So I actually, yeah, this 88 looks pretty good here. This little swing and this drop here, I like it. And then down lower here, 74 and 68, right? And yeah, I see a lot of liquidity down here. Okay, so that's about it. And we do have another level in here that this is kind of where it dropped from in here. So we got that and also the swing up here. All right. So now let's take a look at some of the order flow around these areas. So now if we're going to be trading on those higher time frames, well, what do you do right now? Not much. You know, likely you're still in your short position and you're looking for a continuation of that. Okay, so you'd be looking for this top edge in here, and is this the strong move, kind of a bit of chop and a pullback, and then look for continuation? If so, what are we looking for up here? Okay, well, what we're looking for in this top edge here around 81.5, the order flow, we're looking for the buyers and sellers in these areas up in here, market buy and market sell orders, and then also the liquidity. Okay, now we're not getting too much out of it, to be honest. If we take a look at this, there's a little bit of buying here, not much here, and a little bit here. You know, there's equal kind of selling down in these areas in here as well. So not really seeing too much at the moment out of it. Okay, so if that is the case, then we're just going to kind of gyrate around here, maybe come back down, test the 79. I'd look for that right now, to be honest, to see if we can get some sellers in here, and just test the lower edge here. Okay, and let's see if we get some sellers come back in. Okay, they're adding more on the offer here. Boy, even that's not too clear. They're adding and then pulling as price comes up. So can't seem to get down here. Let's see if we get another rotation. The buying looks better up here, but it did not come back up and test this 81.50. See the sellers. This is something we covered yesterday in detail. Is this kind of trapped volume up above here? It's a pivot line at this kind of 80 and a half, or 80, yeah, 80 and a half here. And you'll see this again and again. See how the sellers just pushed it through. Now we're testing our 79 level. Okay. Now, yeah, now probably test this 78. And is this going to be a bigger break? I don't know. It doesn't look like heavy selling here. It's a strong move. You know, look at the slant or there. Wow. Okay. So something happened just in the market right now. I don't know if there's some data release right now or someone said something. That's a pretty big move out of the blue. Let's take a look here. I don't see anything. anyway, that was unexpected. It was in the direction we were looking for, but we were just looking for a move to the 79 and maybe 77, and then take some profit there and anticipate a bounce out of this area in here, or just some back and forth and chop again, probably back to 79. Instead, it just dropped right through here, swept the order book. Oops, hold on, let me delete that. That's a big sweep there, and pretty decent stop run too. Yeah, somewhere around 700, 800 stops, cleaning the overnight low. Yeah, any of the longs here are stopped out. Let's put the stops and icebergs on chart. That'll help give a little bit of clarity here. Because this is certainly a big one. Yeah, 745. Okay, iceberg's right on the other side though, absorbing too. You know, quite a few. It's not as big as it looks. Yeah. All right. All right. Well, then, if that's the case, let's see. You know, you can look at these kinds of events here. If this is going to be like a swing below the overnight low, what we want to determine is is it going to accept? Okay, or is it going to retest back up into where it dropped from here? Right now, you can see that they follow down with limit sell orders in here, right? So let's see, and this is our 74 level here that we were looking at. Okay, so let's look at our bigger picture again. Yeah, so 74 and then 68, right? So it looks like it still wants to kind of, there's still momentum here. So maybe 68, our next level. Yeah, we have it right here. Okay, a wall of liquidity at lower level in here. So still looking for these sellers here. This is the level we were looking at yesterday at 70. And then 68, a bit lower here. Yeah, Jonah, well, a sweep of 3,000 doesn't happen too often. I mean, I would agree these kinds of sweeps happen all the time, but this is a pretty big one here. Yeah, that's about 4 points or so, and that's 3,000 contracts is a lot. You will see sweeps for a lot less than that, but 3,000 is quite a bit. So yeah, we're kind of is disruptive here, trying to understand all of this in here. It gets kind of confusing. That's where Bookmap is great. We'll just read the order flow and just start to understand the orders. Let the players tell us. Let the order flow in here, or the transactions in these areas in here of liquidity tell us. Okay, so yeah, we're looking for, there we go. Now our 68 level here. All right, that's hit. Okay, so now what? All right, so looks pretty good for maybe some profit taking here at this time. We've got another stop run here. All right, here's a second low, slightly lower low here, and more selling, still more selling. Right, so still looking for the sellers to take it lower. And then we'll just zoom in here and read the microstructure. I think that'd just be the cleanest and clearest way to deal with this in here. Okay, well, they're bidding up in here. Some buyers are coming in. Exhaustion here, actually. So a move back up is not out of the question here. The question is, though, is it just profit taking, or are we seeing new buyers come in? Okay, some selling back down, then some exhaustion. Okay, bidding up a little bit here. Sellers come and take it out, take it on. And that looks like some potential new buying in here. All right, so let's see here. Retest back to where it came from at 70. Exhaustion up here, no buyers up here, very little at least. They're bidding up still. That looks good. Not getting much buying up here though. Not getting much at all. Right. So let's see if these sellers come in with some more power down at the bottom edge here at 68, and try to move down into like this liquidity here at around 67, 66, 65. More buying back up here again. All right, now this is the potential trap here that we can cover. Right, so it's this area here. Okay, because this is see the swing, two swings here, and then this buy volume up here. So are we going to get the buyers to be on the hook and then drive it back down to here? Okay, because this is where those sellers came in and swept the order book, right? This is the pivot line here that we talked about around this 70 level up here, 70 and a half. Okay, so you can see what's happening already. Our scenario one is already playing out, that this is like a trap. Now we're waiting for the stops to be triggered. It's probably going to go lower here. It will go down below the 67 and a half here, and this is where these buyers will stop out. Okay, so looking for that scenario here. Okay, still it's testing that 67 and a half. All right, still looking for a stop run though. We have not gotten a stop run yet from these buyers here. And let's see it. Sellers hit the bid. They're pulling here. And again, guys, watch this here. See the buying in here? Watch them get stopped out down below here. Okay, if they fail to move it above, right? Maybe they'll come in hand over fist up here, right? Then anyone who sold in here is going to be trapped. This is what we're watching here. It looks like a good buy trap here. They're buying the bottom edge in here. Well, they're just looking for some sellers a little bit lower here for them to just push it, and then we'll see a nice little stop run here, right? They got it wrong. Okay. Oh boy, YouTube might have been disrupted there. We'll see. No, we got the buyers back up above. It's the sellers that are on the hook. Still no stop runs. Guys, in these choppy markets, though, we were outlining this yesterday. This happens in all time frames as well. Look for that, strong, consistent move by buyers or sellers. And that's who's in control of the market. What we can see here is the strong buying. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit in here, but it's really up here, right? That's precarious. Now, it doesn't matter if, as long as they can buy up here and more and move the market, well, then they're going to take control and move it on up into 72. But here, if we see sellers down below it, watch this. Then we're going to get a nice stop run, and we should probably get a bigger move out of it. Okay, so yeah, looking for it there. See, that this is working out pretty nicely. There's our little rectangle, and we see the sellers below it here. Okay, so now looking for more. Can we get more selling? No, this is the S&P E-mini futures, JDM. This is a hard read right now, to be honest. We're looking for that scenario, but this move back up to the top range of the range and a little bit of trading up there. I'm still going with it, but we're not looking for it to come back up and retest up here. What we're looking for is this to hold. The retest up to 69 and 3/4. That's fine. Not above it though. Now that kind of disrupts the whole thing. It just makes it I think it much more challenging to read. We have less certainty here now. Buyers might come back up here and auction up at 70 and 3/4. If they do, we're going to get a breakout, right? Yeah, here they go. They're going to try for it and get to 72 here, it looks like. I mean, the retest was beautiful here, right to where these buyers broke out, and it held. All right, well, we're still kind of gyrating around our 68 level here that we kind of marked up on our higher time frame here. Okay, right here, and strong moves down into these areas here, and then are we going to get the buying starting to come back in, or the selling going to take it back down and try to get maybe down to 58 down here? Let's see what 58 looks like. Not much. Some at 60. No, some at 58. All right, buying coming back in. Okay, still a potential for this trapped volume here, right? This is where we dropped from. This is where the sellers took control. This is where it's testing right now. Okay, so I'm still not. I like the buying. It looks good. Order book is supporting it here as well. A little bit. Okay, but you know, what we're looking for is this little area in here and the order flow around it. Yeah, they're bidding up underneath here, and they're not really pulling a little bit on the offer then too. I'm staying away from all of this right here. We're looking for these scenarios in here, but I just don't see, I don't have clarity around it. I mean, I don't see it. A little bit there is helpful on the 72 coming in, but they're likely going to pull it, or you can see the sellers took them on there. All right, more buyers back up above it. All right, so we're above this this little area in here. Okay, so I still just don't like it. Traded into this liquidity here. 250 stops. So we finally got a stop run to the upside. Our bigger one. Good morning, Mount Longfield. So you're showing a 41.75 upward, upwards, a massive stacked imbalance. How can we see that? Yeah, I mean, right up here. Here they are in the order book here. Yeah, it's up in this area here. Okay, you can see it in the book over here in the COB column, current order book, but they've been in here a while. This is actually where they were on the bid earlier. Now they flipped to the offer side here. Okay, here comes some selling. Does that answer your question? Now, how to read it? Let's look at the context here. Okay, they're on the bid at 72. They're starting to pull at 75 actually. They're up a little bit higher though at 75 and a half. We see a lot of traders. And we're kind of in the middle of the two. So it looks pretty balanced at the moment. A balanced book. Now watch what happens though to this balance here. Someone's going to really skew it, and we're going to get some insight from it. All right, they're going to either show up on the bid or the offer up here. And again, like guys, we're going through multiple time frames, and trying to get some insight in here. Interesting. No real kind of skew of the order book. A little bit on the bid side here, and it came back up and tested 75 at least. Yeah, so I mean, our bigger question here is back here. You know, you can see that it rejected off our 68 level. Okay, and we see the bounce out of this area here. Okay, below 68, and then it bounced back up. Yeah, so the current order book over here is showing the current liquidity, and also just to the right of the vertical white line, this is our current best bid and offer and current heat map. You can see it changing, right? So all of that's recorded though on the chart historically here. So you can see the liquidity in these areas, and then you can. This is the beauty, is you can understand the behavior. So they started, see how they started to pull here at 75 as price is coming up. And they did not take on 75.5, and in fact these guys started to pull. You see that little window in there at 75.5 where they pulled as well. So that imbalance in here is not, they don't really have the intent to trade, it looks like. Okay, sellers at the bottom edge. Let's see, over in Discord, good morning, Ken Gerardo. What do you make of the way the buyer's orders enter the book and appear to lure sellers to them? Yeah, I mean, that's this is what it's all about, is understanding this context. Sometimes it repels them, sometimes it lures them. That's what we want to determine, right? Sometimes they pull and maybe flip on the other side. It's this context between these three elements, basically: the market structure, and then the transactions within that structure, and then the order book within that structure. That's what we really want to understand, and look for clarity. See, like, look at this move up here. Okay, so we see some buying in here, and I'm still not getting much clarity here, to be honest. Like selling, hold on, selling in here, right, can be upended if we get enough buyers to come back up here, but they're not able to do it. So sellers in control now are able to likely take this now lower, 70, 69, maybe our 68 level. Okay, a little bit of clarity there, a little bit. So these guys are trapped here, okay, between 72 and 73, or 72 and a half and 73 and a quarter. Right now we're looking for them to get stopped out on the way down, and I don't see it yet. I'm looking for the stop run, and where might they take this? Okay, well, this is a good area first, right here at 70. Okay, we have a little bit of a profile node right there, but we have some structure here as well. Okay, right here at 70, but our 68 level, that would be the target here we're looking for. Oh, great. Thank you. I'm glad you find value out of this. We got a little bit of clarity out of that in terms of this going lower now, and we see the follow through. All right, so yeah, this one worked out, and we went through the two scenarios in here again, right? That this is a possible trap if buyers can get back up above. They did get above, but then they failed to stay above. See how these guys are not in a trap any longer. Now this is going with these sellers. So that's when we look for the bottom edge in here for that selling to come in again, and then look for that continuation. There's our continuation to 68. Okay, now we've got a potential. So there's a possible trade opportunity there. It was kind of we weren't getting much out of this until we kind of started to look at maybe who's trapped, who's going to get stopped out, and we do see a stop run here down into these areas. Now, but let's look at the bigger picture now, okay? Because this 68 level is important on the higher time frame. So now we're going to zoom out and we're going to disregard that little trade idea in here, and we're going to look at the bigger picture now. All right, so I like this idea. Let's clear. Yeah, let's just clear all the drawings. We'll remember 68 and whatever. Our 68 level and our 74, 75 level that we had on our higher time frames. Look at the buyers come streaming in here and look at where the sellers are now. See how the sellers are trapped? This is looking great for buyers to trade up here. Okay, so yeah, I would look for that. Looking for more buyers. Now look at the speed of the move in here too. Okay, now what does the volume look like on the speed of that move? It's not the greatest. It's not the greatest. It's not bad, but it's not the greatest. When they come in hand over fist and you see that strong move in here, it is very clear that this is the area to go to. Okay, they are attracted to this area up here, the swing in the market structure and the liquidity that's up here. All right, so what do we get? We get a bit of a pullback here, likely off of this little high volume node here. Kind of mean reversion traders coming in, taking it back up here, taking it back up to just the top of this range here. Okay, now we're back to here. Okay, this is where those buyers broke out, right? And we identified the stop run here and the buyers coming up above it in here. Okay, so they're letting the sellers out if we can continue lower. And again, now who's on the hook? It's these guys. All right, so yeah, I'm looking to see if we can test through now. This is our next retest down here at 68. Now let's take a look at this. Okay, so 68 is our important level on our higher time frame, but we're talking about right now a lower time frame move, and we're looking for our sellers to drive this lower. Look at the selling in here. It's not so great. Okay, it may go below it here, but this is not strong selling on this move lower here. Okay, if we saw that strong selling on this move lower, the likelihood to break 68 is much higher. I don't see it. I'm not looking for it then. Okay, it's or less likely to play out. Okay, where are we looking for buyers? I'd be looking for them up here around 70.5, and I like this 70 level here too. This little swing here. Okay, let's see. Do we get some exhaustion? All right, buyers. All right, let's see them take it up to 71 here. I think they can do that. We got a little bit buying here. They can't do it. No, not going to work. All right, buyers. You got these little guys on the hook here if you can take it higher. And they can't yet again. All right, let's see if we get one more rotation here. This is basically exhausting out here. Nope. Not going to happen. And again, our bigger picture in here, it just doesn't look great. I don't see a lot of volume in here trying to move this market. All right, there's some exhaustion. Here's some buying. All right, let's see if the buyers should be able to move it back up to the top of the range here at 70. And now we might get our breakout. Let's see here. Now, what we're looking for in here is a smaller time frame move. Okay, there it is to 60 or to 70. Okay, now I'm still looking for it to auction up here, though, more at 70. And then I'm looking for a bigger move to, well, 71, but liquidity, or the move dropped here. I don't see any liquidity up there, or very little. So maybe up to here at 72 3/4. Okay, so it would break this little range and come up into this previous range. Okay, let's see it. Let's see it, buyers. Looking for buyers here, top edge, and then the push. All right, and then now we can start to look for some targets here. Like I said, I like it here at 72-ish, but I just don't see much liquidity there. I'm looking for a higher move here, around 72 3/4. And again, now let's just zoom out again and take a look at this. Okay, what's the volume look like here? It's just still not that great, right? It's the traders and the volume in here that moves the market, or it has the potential to move the market. And that's the context we want to look at in here. Interestingly enough, it came right up into this area here, regardless of the liquidity being higher. And now we're back into this little range here. All right, some more buyers. All right, looks like they want to auction back up here. The bid is looking good. Yeah, let's see if we can get a bit more in here. We're getting a small little rotation here. Looking for our buyers here. Look at the bid. What's the reaction? Do we get our buyers? Nope, not yet. We're getting sellers here at this little bottom of this little range here. Yeah, now here we go. All right, a little bit more buying. No, nothing. Another rotation. Nothing happening. The offer's coming down in here. The bid's up though. They're still bidding up. That looks good. Okay, this exhaustion here. Can we get buyers up here? 70.5. Okay, because we looking for these sellers to be on the hook down here, basically. Right, and then looking for, it has to, our next, if we're looking for a buy side, that's where it has to happen. And you can see what happened. It just pushed right through it. So it's a tough one. That's a tough, I mean, we're looking for that scenario and all of a sudden they just come in and these guys, but the concept is the same. These guys are all on the hook, right? So still looking for this to go higher here. Let's get to 70 or 73 swing. Maybe we can get up to our 75 now. The volume looks much better now. So here's our first swing here. I'm still looking for this, a bit of profit taking, maybe a pullback to here, maybe to 72, but I'm looking for them to stream higher up into 75 and 75.5. All right, so I don't know. This is these are good little areas or pockets here to consider some taking some off, and then looking for the on this smaller time frame, the move would be up into here. All right, and then that would be it. Okay, now the bigger time frame. Let's go over a bigger time frame. What are you looking at in here? All right, because on our higher time frame, we're looking at we were looking at the 68 level early on. Okay, and yeah, I would actually, in the higher time frame, if I got involved in here, the first area I would consider taking some profit is at 75. All right, the swing up here. All right, and then maybe it can come back up into the next kind of swing, or this area up here. Yeah, somewhere around here, 80. Okay, and let's look. 80 liquidity is coming in. It's also a high volume node here, and this is where those sellers came in and hit the bid hard, really hard. Okay, so what did we get so far? Well, we got our pullback that we were talking about. Let's see here. What about CVD being so low? Okay, so let's take a look. CVD is just really flatlining. Not seeing much out of CVD. I'm going to go with the session range here. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, Kenjorado. I don't really get a lot out of the CVD. I used to think I did, but then again, it's just this context that I want to understand in here. And CVD, you can align with it or not, but like for example, we might get a CVD reading where it's like, we get all sorts of selling in here, but all that matters is if we can get up here, even on low volume on the buy side, if we can get up here and then they turn on the volume up here, look out. They're going to be able to, they have the potential now to lift it. Right, and this is where CVD can really be upending for me, at least. I have a hard time with it. We can look at ABC patterns as well, which are like our head and shoulders and kind of double bottom sometimes, and then look at volume on these patterns in here. And where that volume and the order book in here as well gives us some insight. Okay, so for example, hold on a minute here. Let's just let's clear our drawings again here. And let's take a look. All right, so with this market structure of kind of ABC pattern, what we want to understand in this kind of pattern in here is if it's a reversal or continuation, and what we're looking for and trying to get insight in. Okay, so there might be heavy selling on the way down. Okay, and let's suppose it is maybe some light buying in here, but then some pretty heavy buying up here. Okay, and then let's suppose it's light selling on the way down, and it's a higher low in here, and then probably right around in here you'd probably see the heavy buying, a little bit higher like this. Suppose you see this in here. Okay, your CVD, it might still be negative in here. It might be. I think this scenario here, it would be positive. This would probably put it into the positive, right? And then you have some divergence, and that would be good. It's possible though that and maybe you didn't get this move up here with the heavy buying at the top here. Maybe you got exhaustion on the buy side, and then instead, here, let's just go through it again. Okay. All right. So let's suppose instead you have the heavy selling here, very light buying, exhaustion, heavy selling. Okay, but it still makes a higher low in here. Okay. Well, there's some divergence in there, and then let's suppose it's just light buying again in here. I mean, you know, it's telling you like stay short, stay short, stay short. But what if you get like heavy buying back up here that has the potential now to really lift it and move it higher? And these guys in here now, this is what we've been talking about traps. Okay, and that's why these little areas can be like kind of pivot areas that are important inflection points in the market. Okay, so this is obviously there's going to be this will really, you know, kind of screw with some of the CVD traders. And I mean, there's all sorts of scenarios that kind of emerge. I mean, these larger players in here are dumping, are really screwing with CVD as well. They're really screwing it up, right? Making it unreadable basically. So just rely. I like to rely on the you know, what I see within the ranges. So slow down. Let's see over in Discord. He's been documenting some really great stuff, everybody, on the Bookmap Insights, and also in Discord, looking at reversals, and you know, in starting to understand this. Now we have a higher time frame level here, but we've been looking around the order flow around this level in here, and so far we've only seen it come up to the like 70, 73 basically. Our real level that is the first stopping point here would be 75. Okay, and we haven't gotten there yet. We're still just chopping around in here. My point is this: these reversals can take a long time. They can chop for a while, and it can be very trying to catch a reversal. I know Slowdown's not looking for that. You know, he just wants to know more about when that potential reversal might come about, and start to understand the order flow within it. Okay, so trading reversals can be really tricky, I feel, and yeah, it's a blast to grab them and then catch a really big move. But you know, you might get stopped out a few times before you can really, you know, grab your bigger move. Market on reversals, it always seems to retest another time that you just didn't expect. Okay, look at our now. See what I mean by this potential trapped volume here. Okay, they're still in the game here, but it's not looking too good. If we can get buyers back up here, right? So we're looking for buyers up here around 70, right? Here's the trap volume. Okay, see how they're getting let out here. So actually now we have the potential for the move lower. Okay, so and what did we get? What did we get here in terms of volume? Now I don't have the order book, so let's turn on the order book. And we have the trap volume. We know that now they're being let out, and it's actually these guys up here that are going to feel more of the pain. Okay, now we're really watching this one closely though here at our 68.25 level, watching it really closely here, because at this point here, we can come down and retest here and it might exhaust on the sell side. It's not. We're getting sellers. Okay, there they go. All right, so yeah, and now let's see if the sellers now can take this higher, or is this the area that's going to be gamed? Right, so we're looking for, again, above 68.5 now. right? Is this the false breakdown? All right, so let's take a look here. Do we get buyers up here? Yep. Okay, buyers now, strong buying. They should be able to take it back up here to 70.5. Okay, I'm looking for that. Okay, I like to get in around here when I see that strong buying. I like to get out right there, right now, for just a partial. I'm still looking for a bigger move here. Okay, see the strong buying coming in? That's different, right? That looks different now. Okay, so here is our false breakdown. It is this is the trap here. These guys were let out of the trap when it came back down in here again and tested. Let's just clear the drawings once again. Okay, so this is the trap here. This is the real trap. They're pulling away and it's goodbye. You know, so our first target, because we don't know, is the first swing up here. That we might get another rotation back down to right here. These guys can still be trapped in this area in here, and it can come back down and retest into here. Okay, and they would be buying back at trying to, you know, save some money. I mean, you know, Scott Pulcini, he talks about that as well. Just that understanding that the behavior is, oh, please come back. I'll be a buyer if you come back. Let's see here. Some more questions. So they're pushing the price upward. Well, you can see the orders. The way the heat map works, Mount Longfield, is that you know, here it is in the COB column in the current market, current order book. Okay, this is your dome. And this is the current order or market window here to the right of the vertical white line, and you can see the orders in here that relate directly to the current order book. But what we've done is just we take it and put it into a heat map form and plot it onto the chart historically here. So this is when all of those traders came in. You see they weren't here earlier. We know precisely when they came in. They came in here. And we know precisely how long they've been in the order book, and we know if they've been adding or pulling in these areas here. And that's all the heat map is. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. Or I think that is your question. Can we see the dark pools? Yes, you can, Shadow. Dark pools are only in stocks, and you do need to have, let's see if we can see any in here. You do need to have the NBBO data. Okay, that I have here. Okay, National Best Bid and Offer shows all transactions, and you'll see like dark pool transactions, maybe some here. Yeah, looks like to me at least. Some dark, lots of them. In fact, it's usually you don't usually see that, but usually you see one big dark pool transaction way off of Best Bid and Offer. You know, something like that. Okay, so yeah, that's typically it. It doesn't have to be, you know, but typically that's kind of what you see. Look at this divergence on Tesla, just for kicks. I mean, tons of selling in here, right? Tons of selling. It's just going down and down and down. But look at this. You know, so this is pretty massive divergence. I'm really curious. We'll come back in a few minutes and look at this. If we get the pop above this range here in Tesla, and then see a really nice strong move up into here, so 86.5, but maybe 87 here. Okay, so we'll look for that scenario in here. Just there's so many sellers on the hook in here that they're going to get squeezed pretty hard on the way up. So that's just you know, a scenario for looking for the short squeeze, and it's setting up really nicely if it can continue to push there. All right, so anyway, how did our trap volume idea work out? Well, you can see what happened here. Okay, so this is why, like I mentioned about reversals in here, This is strong, good volume. It looks good. This looked really good. We're looking for the move back up into this area here. Okay, and this swing up here, and it just didn't do it. This is again why on reversals especially, I like to take some partial profit along the way in terms of trade management. The trade management is a little different. That's personal. It's up to you. You can see though we've retested exactly the zone we mentioned here, and it's holding still, and we are getting buyers here. Okay, so can we get a little bit more up here around 70? Then we can get a move back up to here, 71.5. Our swing here at 72. Okay, and then if we still see that buying continue, we're looking for them to test up into these guys and this liquidity at the place we were originally looking for, that swing up here. Okay, makes sense? Okay, thanks guys. Hope I'm providing some value for you. Which channel or room in Discord for the reversal discussion with slowdown? That's in the all markets, Wolf, I believe, or maybe it's in general. We can take a quick look here. And slowdown's looking at some stuff here as well. Trying to learn when to turn the bus around. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it takes a while. And another thing to look at for reversals especially, I find is to look at correlated markets. Okay, what are the other markets? Are they all aligned? If they are, it really helps. It really helps. Okay, and you can get some very powerful moves when you get some correlated markets all kind of aligned. This is great, slowdown. Great to hear about some of the anticipating retracements, etc. So like this little retracement back down to here. Yeah, look for them. Understand like the traders in the structure here. That's what's important, and that's what we're looking for. Okay, and they're getting squeezed here. It comes right back down. And then again, we're still looking though for it's supported by buyers. So buyers supporting it, we're looking for the move back up into here at 72. It hasn't gotten quite there yet. It was a few ticks away. But yeah, that's it. Yeah. And really you'll see the shift in the volume as well in the higher time frame, right? You'll probably even be able to draw a line right down the middle, and you'll see on one side is all selling or mostly selling, and then mostly buying on the other side. And look for it. There's something that for our move here in our higher time frame. I mean, it's still holding here around our 68 level. Still holding, but it's not looking good. We're trying to kind of read it and catch it and look for something higher here. It still may play out, but let's just look at the structure. Okay, we can take volume dots off here. We can take everything off except for market best bid and offer, streaming best bid and offer. Okay, and let's take off our stops and icebergs as well, just for a moment. And look at the market structure. See how the structure here, it's not looking good. We can't get above this swing here, and then now we're making lower highs here, and kind of equal lows here. So structurally this looks bearish in here. Okay, so what we need to see structurally is this needs to break, this needs to break, right? This would be the next break, and then this would be the next break. Okay, so and then a test up to here, and then a test up into maybe here, right? Or into this zone up in here, right, where it broke from. Okay, so that's what we need to see. Now, if we don't see the transactions and the order book supporting that, that break here, then we're looking for the opposite. We're looking for, down in this area, we're looking for sellers. Okay, so we're looking for big red dots here. And in fact, it would be a small break here of this trend line with big red dots, and looking for the move back down to lows of the day, basically. All right. So, and this looks more probable, to be honest, right? By just looking at the market structure here, we're looking for a reversal around our higher time frame area up here. It's not looking good right now. Okay, so we have a potential move back down to here, maybe on the higher time frame, 58. Okay, so let's take a look here. All right, let's now turn on our heat map and our volume dots. All right, here are sellers, bottom edge. They're going to move it right now, it looks like. Okay, so here's the move to the low, or in this range here. Okay, the low of the day is down lower, 66. Okay, so still looking for more sellers here. Now, okay, we're going through that scenario. We've got the structure on our side. We've got the volume dots. We have to, though, we've spent a lot of time talking about today about traps. Okay, it could even trap a little bit higher here. So there's a couple little areas. So if we get buyers back up above this trapped volume on the sell side, look for the squeeze and look for the move back up into 71. Okay, so that's another scenario that we're outlining right now. Okay, and it's really going to matter down here. Okay, so we're looking for the sellers to break it. We got it. Okay, now we're looking for follow through on that sell side. Okay, that's primary scenario. We're just outlining these other scenarios in here. Now, if you're in this short, like, it's still good until up here. So, you can consider, and it's just a consideration of your stop being up here someplace. Okay, you can still be in it. Like, this buying in here, yeah, okay, but sellers still have it in this little area in here. Okay, so again, still looking for sellers, bottom edge, and then the move lower. Okay, into 66, 65. Yeah. Okay, secondary scenario is that the trap, and then and buyers back up. First here at this swing here, 68.5, and then a lot more up here at 69. Okay, and pull away from this zone in here quickly. Okay, I don't see them up here. I see sellers again down here. Still looking for sellers to drop it. Still looking for it. Okay, how's Nasdaq look? Let's jump over to Nasdaq. Nasdaq's a little bit more bullish here. Okay, it's got a ways to go. It's just breaking this little low here. So the sellers are coming in. So yeah, likely they'll trade it back down to this 165 area here. I'd be looking for that on the sell side. And then if they can really pick it up, we'll get to lows of the day here in the Nasdaq. Interesting move on the Nasdaq. Here's your point of control here. Okay, and what do we look for on the point of control? You really look for that heavy selling to move it away from that zone. Okay, you're not looking for a retracement. Good morning, Hector. It's possible to prevent ordered blocks that appear strong but then disappear. No, I mean, probably what you're talking about is see this is failing right now, and see how this is going to be the trap here. Nasdaq does this better than the S&P. It illustrates this trapping a lot better. Okay, so this is the area. So looking for our buyers here, then we should get a nice little swing move up into maybe 90. First stop probably 85, but maybe 90, maybe 95. Right, and what about Tesla? Tesla's probably still not doing it. Still not doing it yet. Okay, what about our S&P? just chopping around in this whole area here that we're talking about. Spin trades. How do you generally distinguish between support and resistance areas that get run through? It's again, it's all context. It's about the relationship between these buyers and sellers. So, and what I mean by buyers and sellers is the aggressive buyers and sellers are the volume dots. Okay, market buy and market sell orders. These are the guys that move the market. Okay, that they'll sweep the order. They can sweep the order book. You know, you pay up at a price. You cross the spread. You pay up on the tick. Or you know, let's suppose you hit market buy. You know, then you're gonna get filled on the next best price on the offer. Whoever's offering, wherever they are. In these markets, it's amazing. It's one tick wide spread. You know, years and years ago, it wasn't like that. Decades ago. And stocks also, just like God, we can look at Tesla and look at, you know, how you're going to get slipped, or not slipped. You're just going to, you know, likely be at a loss right away. Guys, look at this. So here's our secondary scenario here, right? We talked about it. Look at our line here and look at the volume now above it. Okay. So, you know, looks pretty good here. Looks pretty good. And let's see if we can get some more buying in here. Maybe a pullback to 69.5 right here. But our next stop is likely up here. Okay, what we outlined around the 71.5 area. And now the volume here doesn't look so good on that buy side. It doesn't look so strong. So it just traded up to this liquidity here. Okay, here's our pullback to where it broke from. And let's see here, any other questions? Which is the best market, correlated market to look for? The ES? Well, they always change. Usually a Nasdaq, I mean, is leading. But you might want to take a look at the Russell. And you might want to look at our market pulse tool. I can demo it here as well. But we've got to go here. I got to end the webinar here in just a few minutes. You know, I mean, the classic correlations are obviously looking at the bonds. You can also look at the dollar index as a negative correlation, but the euro dollar can be a good one if you don't have that, since the majority of the DXY is made up of euro dollar. Oh, thank you, Michael. That's a really nice compliment. I really appreciate that. I was watching older webinars and getting some deeper insight, guys. So you can see, like, you know, a little bit tricky here, but this could be the bigger reversal now, because we've got a whole bunch of things kind of aligning here. But again, you know, reversals are kind of tough. It looks pretty good for hitting our swings and coming up to this 73.5 here, right? And testing this liquidity here. Okay, we've been looking for it all the way along. Our structure looked horrible, or not horrible, but we noted it that we're looking for actually sellers to take it lower. Okay, scenario number one. Scenario number two was the trap volume that we outlined in here. Okay. And that once we can get buyers back up above that area, which they came in, but they came in right up above in here, actually. Well, kind of the top edge of that here around 69, and then it held. Okay, so I am looking for more buyers now. I think they got it. I'm looking for the move to 73, and see the strength coming in now. Okay, that looks a lot better. Okay, so I'm looking for the move to 73, test this one up here, pop above it as well and see what's up above it here. The next level would be 75 up here. Now, we don't know if this is going to be the bigger move you know, back up into up here. But we've been watching this closely, the back and forth and the back and forth, and then looking for this potential scenario. Our most likely scenario when we looked at the market structure was the move down. It became the trap. The move down became the trap. Okay, now we had the secondary scenario of this trend line break, and then there's our move, guys, into 73.5. Still looking for it to go higher. All right. And looking for our stop run. So let's put our stops and icebergs on here. There we go. There is a stop run already. Okay, so maybe that's a good potential area to take some profit. Okay, my read on it right now is yeah, they traded into this liquidity. I'm still seeing some strength though on the buy side here. So looking forward, you know, maybe the 75.5 level here. This is one thing, just a note here, and before we leave, and guys, yeah, please hit the like button in here. This is very, very helpful, because what I want to ask here is what do you want me to cover? You know, what we've been covering in here has been about gaming these levels, basically looking for who's trapped, who's not, etc. When that might happen, and be prepared for it and ready for it, and what it looks like when it looks good to finally reverse. And we're looking for those things in the scenarios as we're outlining them. This can be, you might be trading volume profile, it doesn't matter. This will all work. We're talking about the orders in here. We're talking about the around a specific level. We're talking about the orders. We started with the higher time frames in here. We looked at our market structure and we're like, yeah, it looks like it's probably going to drop into this area here. Then we noted the trapped volume and our secondary scenario. Now we're looking for the move up to 75, this swing here, and we could get even a bigger move up into 80 up here that we outlined. Okay, it looks pretty good to me. But this is the first stop though, is at 75 level. Okay, on our higher time frame, this swing here, right? So maybe the rest of the day, maybe it just comes up and tests 75. I'm looking for it to go above 75, but I don't know if it's going to be sustained. Okay, I want to see the stop run above it, and then probably come back into the middle of the range again. That's another scenario here. Now we're just going to look at the order flow, mark up your charts, look at the orders around those areas to see if that's going to be more likely or not. Or do you see just more massive buying and momentum here? Well, then likely the 80 area is the next stop, you know, something like that. Okay, let's see here, a few more questions. Okay, so we went over the correlated markets. Yeah, sure. I'll show you Market Pulse really quickly. Tom B has already started, guys. So that's the next webinar. And then, like I said, don't forget about John Slazas. He's an expert on the market structure. You might, I would suggest it's crypto, and you know, it trades a little differently, but you know, he's a veteran trader, and we're really happy to have him. Okay, so that's at 1 o'clock. He's weekly on Tuesdays. Why does liquidity act like a magnet? So sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Usually, like in stocks, you know, we can look at it here, like Tesla, for example. You know, these areas of large liquidity, you can see the larger players just kind of park their orders and they just wait to get filled at their levels. So the aggressors, do they want that liquidity? Do they have more selling pressure to trade lower? They did in this case here. They traded into this and through it. So the magnet is still here, down here at 183. We don't see enough sellers get down there, right? Look at the CVD here, just cratering. I'm still looking for that squeeze, a beautiful squeeze in here. Maybe it will happen now. Look for this. Look for a lot of buying right here, right now. This little top of the edge here. I don't see it, but if we can get some buying in here, we should be able to trade to 85, 80, and 86. And that's what I'd look for. Yeah, just a scenario to go through. All right, let's see here. Oh yeah, let's go through a market pulse really quickly. I love this tool. We should have it up every day. There's so much to look at or hear, actually hear the orders. It's amazing. Where is it? Manage orders. Okay, yeah, so I know I got it. Here it is. It's in here. Here it is. Okay, so funny. Okay, I need to create one for the S&P, not Tesla. So you got to be in the, well, you don't have to be in the area. There was an update, so but let's just go back to the ES, and then that's the one that pops up here. We can look at price change, spread change, and also volume pressure. Let's look at volume pressure, and we'll hit play. Okay, and it's going to look at a threshold, and then when the volume goes above that threshold, then we'll see something in here happen. Okay, so here it is, and then actually here we can, do you guys hear the sellers there? Yeah, all right, so see how it went above the 70 level in here, which is our threshold. Okay, so, and here it is. This is what it looks like. The beauty of this is you can actually hear the individual orders come in, and sometimes you'll hear a sweep of the order book just go. It's amazing. So anyway, so yeah, here we've got it. You can go back and go back to right click on it, go to settings in here. No, I need to go back to the original one and add another one in here, which is volume. We already have it, so I just need to hit play. And then now we have the Nasdaq. So now I can compare and contrast. Do I hear selling or buying in the Nasdaq first? Yeah. So they're both correlated here. They're both selling off hard. Guys, this is why, like, again, on reversals, this is tricky. So what happened up here? This is the trapped volume here. It's above 75 or above 73 to 75, and sellers coming in hand over fist. This is why the reversals, I like to take my profits along the way. Okay, because otherwise you just gave everything back and maybe you're holding a loser. And don't do it. So anyway, yeah, now we're down to lows of the day, and now we've got everyone trapped as a buyer here. So I'm looking for sellers to take this lower. Right? I believe this is the trap here on the higher time frame. So where might they take it? Where might traders be able to take it? Might be down to here. Okay, so around 60, 58. All right, now we'll take a look here again, okay, because this area here at this 66, maybe that becomes another trap in here. But we've seen this enough, and European session just closed, and the shenanigans are kind of over. It looks like they're moving the market. It looks like the market's ready to move. Okay, so anyway, you can see what we're looking for. That, yeah, 60 and 58 potential down here. Yeah, this is really cool, this market pulse. You can set a lot of different parameters in here, or you have different algos that can work it. You know, just add another symbol in here, euro dollar, for example, and then get this up for market pulse as well, and listen to the euro dollar, see if that's leading everyone first. You know, maybe you see some dollar strength in here. If you do, well, then, and you hear the Nasdaq starting to lead, great. Yeah, it's a great tool. I really like it. Anyway, guys, yeah, let's wrap it up. We'll call it a day. So we have Jay Trader tomorrow, and Scott Pulcini on Thursday. So I'll be back on Friday. So, yep. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day, and we'll see you then. Take care.